Body language is so important. Not just your own body language, but also the body language of others. A major part of becoming the alpha male is being able to recognize the body language of others and making sure you're giving off the right vibes with your own body language. Get it right, and people, especially girls, will instantly recognize you as the alpha, and they'll be more likely to take interest in you to see what type of person you are. Get it wrong, and people won't take you seriously, and you're even more likely to get mugged. It might seem like common sense, but most criminals actually look for vulnerabilities when choosing their targets. If a thief is looking for someone to rob, he will pick someone that looks the most vulnerable, which is why the elderly are common targets. When looking for a house to burglarize, a criminal is likely to pick the house with the obvious vulnerabilities, such as one that is located in a remote location. This is crazy, but something as simple as walking with a straight back makes you less likely to get mugged. If you're a criminal, who are you going to rob first? The skinny guy who has the body language of an alpha male, who at least looks like he can defend himself, or the skinny guy who is hunched over, walking anxiously and scared to look anyone in their eyes? A lot of guys don't understand that every action, every thought, everything you do affects you as a person. Why do you think so many guys who fake being confident over time actually end up becoming confident? Have you ever discovered something about someone that drives you absolutely nuts, only to find out that later on you actually take on this trait or act in the same way as this person? This is the same psychology behind the whole concept of the alpha male. When you force yourself to display the body language of the alpha male over a long period of time, guess what? It starts to become natural, and mentally you start to feel like the alpha. It's the same reason why people who display the behavior of the beta always seem to be sad and hate life. Let me break this down for you in a way that nobody ever has. Imagine your brain is made up of two major parts. You have the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind is like the YouTube and Facebook apps on your phone. It handles the conscious functions, such as liking your friend's post on Facebook or watching an entertaining, informative video. Your subconscious mind is like the hidden code in the background that makes all of the apps work. In other words, it's the boss. Everything that you do on a daily basis, whether you realize it or not, is ruled by your subconscious mind. Everything about you is defined by the beliefs that you hold in your subconscious mind. This is incredible news for everyone because these beliefs about yourself can be changed. Despite the fact that your subconscious mind rules your day-to-day life, it's simple and operates much the same way as an infant. In other words, it is easily programmed. Most of your subconscious programming for life occurs during the first 7 years of your life, but you can reprogram it at any point in time during your lifetime. The subconscious mind can be reprogrammed in several ways, but one of the easiest ways to do it is through the power of repetition. An interesting fact is that your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between what's real and imagined, which is why dreams can feel so real and scary. Maybe during your first 7 years of life, you got the short stick for subconscious programming. Or maybe it was traumatic life experiences in school that caused you to absorb the programming of the beta. Whatever it was, it's reversible through your daily thoughts and actions. And guess what? Your body language affects your thoughts, and your thoughts affect your actions. By understanding and practicing daily the body language of the alpha male, you are literally reprogramming your subconscious mind to become the alpha. Sure, at first it won't feel natural, but over time, it will all fall into place. Your subconscious brain will pick up on cues and notice how others treat you when you display the body language of the alpha. And through repetition, it will change its beliefs about who you are as a person. It will think to itself, wow, this guy really is an alpha. And once the new beliefs are formed, the alpha will become part of who you are as a person. Imagine what your life would be like once you feel better about yourself. People will look at you different. You will be given greater respect, and people will find you more confident and attractive, which is especially useful for meeting girls. Now that you understand how it works, let's get into the actual body language of the alpha. The main aspects of body language are the way you sit, where you keep your hands, your posture, head positioning, eye contact, facial expressions, your presence, how you stand, and even how you shake hands. Even the way that you control your voice tone is important. Let's start with facial expressions. The alpha is good at speaking without saying anything. He can say many things just by looking at you a certain way. When meeting someone new, give them a smile to come off as warm and inviting. Also, nod your head every so often when someone is talking to you. During a serious situation, The alpha displays serious facial expressions. When uncertain, he controls his face and doesn't come off as scared or confused. Always avoid the deer in the headlight look. Posture is another important part of the alpha's body language. It goes without saying that you should always stand up straight and tall. Your legs should be fully extended and the knees shouldn't be bent. The alpha makes sure to puff his chest out slightly, and his back should form a backwards C shape. The shoulders should always be expanded, which will make you appear wider. A huge mistake that the beta makes is unknowingly exaggerating his posture. Head positioning is also very important. The alpha keeps his head up and not down, but not to the point of looking like he's lost and needs direction. One of the biggest mistakes that the beta makes is constantly looking down. When genuinely interested or curious, the alpha tilts his head slightly. Hand positioning is another key part of alpha male body language, and it's also one of the most misunderstood components. By themselves, your hands don't say much, but when combined with other aspects of body language, they can make you appear shy, insecure, or negative. In most situations, the alpha keeps his hands to his sides to show that he's open and relaxed. Putting your hands in your pockets can give the impression that you're hiding something, but as long as you're displaying the other aspects of alpha body language, there's nothing wrong with putting them in your pockets. One of the most important aspects of alpha male body language is your presence. To become the alpha male, your presence should make you seem larger than you really are. In other words, you're not afraid to take up space. Your presence shows others that you're not afraid to let it hang. And when in close proximity to others, the alpha doesn't force himself to take up a smaller space. The alpha male stands with his legs wider apart, at about shoulder width. And when you enter a room, stop and look around for a second before you move to your destination. The beta chooses to go through his life unnoticed, while the alpha makes sure that he is always noticed. Another key aspect of alpha male body language is your walk, and it has a major impact on how people perceive you. The alpha walks with long, slow strides, depending on whether or not he's in a rush. He also walks with a purpose because he truly believes that he's an important person. The beta male is notorious for walking with short, quick steps. Even the way that you sit is important when displaying the body language of the alpha male. When in a seated position, the alpha maintains a bigger, wider posture, and he keeps his legs open and sits upright. If he puts one leg over the other, he places the ankle over the knee and doesn't sit with a knee over knee position. To put it simply, the alpha is not afraid to let it hang. The way that you shake a person's hand is another important part of the alpha male body language. The reality is that you'll need to shake many hands throughout your lifetime, so you should know how to do it properly. When shaking someone's hand, the alpha extends his hand out while looking the other person in the eyes. One of the biggest mistakes that the beta makes is looking down at the hands as they shake and focusing on them for too long. Every situation is different, but a general rule is to shake the other person's hand up and down about 3 times. Some common things to say during the shake are "How are you?" "Good to see you," or "Nice to meet you." The firmness of the shake is also important. Don't make the mistake of the aggressive beta male and squeeze the other person's hand too hard. And as a general rule, always be gentler when shaking a girl's hand. The final aspect of alpha male body language is eye contact, and it could be argued that this is the most important part. When it comes to eye contact, the alpha is never afraid to look someone in their eyes, and he's also not afraid to look at anything in general. If he's with his girl and sees a group of guys nearby who look like they're up to no good or pose a threat to the safety of his family or friends, he's not afraid to look towards them and analyze the situation. The beta male is always afraid to look people in their eyes or look at things he's interested in. The beta also frequently feels threatened when looked at by the alpha because he's afraid of confrontation. He is even afraid of looking at a beautiful girl because he fears that she will catch him looking at her. The alpha is different because he uses eye contact to display interest and confidence. He's comfortable looking people in the eyes and holding eye contact for longer than the beta. In any situation, when 2 people make direct eye contact, the person who looks away first is viewed as being more submissive. Keep in mind that this doesn't mean that you should stare down every guy or girl you come across, because you'll just end up coming across as being creepy. The alpha knows when to break eye contact and also when to hold it, especially with other males, depending on the situation. These are the most important aspects of alpha male body language, and if you want to become the alpha, start practicing them right away. At first, it will feel weird and uncomfortable. It's almost like trying to drive a car for the first time. The more that you practice driving the car, the easier it is to stay within the lines, and the more comfortable you will feel. Displaying the body language of the alpha works the same exact way. Over time, with enough practice, you won't have to consciously think about displaying the body language of the alpha. And this is when the magic happens. Your subconscious mind will take over from there, and the way that you carry yourself will automatically change how you think, feel, and behave. You will quite literally become the alpha. With that said, until next time, thanks for watching.